We'll start with the game as Toronto host Huddersfield at the John Smith Stadium in Huddersfield in the Challenge Cup 5th round.
And Wednesday night.
Yes, Wednesday night rugby on the live on the Our League app. I would be watching, but I'm at work.
Huddersfield by 20 points.
I think Toronto realise that there is only one aim this year, and that is survival in Super League.
I don't think they're going to turn up. Turn up, but
they're not going to get to the Challenge Cup final. It's not part of their remit this year. I don't think they need. I think they need to get away from Super League form. The Challenge Cup final is a distraction for them. Quinn Naguati's back and could play. So yeah, Huddersfield will want to keep the confidence that they've got. Huddersfield by 30.
Yeah, I'd say Huddersfield by 24. We'll go with that. Friday night, 2 games in the Challenge Cup. Featherstone versus Hunslet. 2 unbeaten sides, mates.
Leeds A versus Leeds.
Whatever Featherstone's called.
Leeds A versus Leeds B.
Yeah. Leeds B versus C. You got that?
You knew what I meant.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Well, these reserves fit in this though. Surely they're B, so it's C and D.
No, because the Leeds A team have got people playing in Featherstone. The reserves is separate to the A.
Anyway,
the
analogy was fine.
Yeah. Too many letters.
Featherstone by 12.
Both teams made a great start to the season in their respective leagues. I think James Webster's doing a really good job at Featherstone at the moment because, again, you don't know every week what resources are going to be until they turn up. Gary Thornton's pleased and happy with how Hunslet have started the season.
You get the emails as well.
But Featherstone will win this by 24.
Yeah, Fev by 18. Also on Friday night in the Challenge Cup, it's a historic meeting between 2 great names, Wakefield versus Bradford. Memories for me of Bradford Northern and Neil Summers' try, which wasn't a try, which we referred to plenty of times on this programme. I may well on Friday when I'm pitchside take a picture of where he put the ball down, where Robin Whitfield gave the try. Wakefield versus Bradford.
Was it in the stand?
It may as well.
Tommy, not dwelling on this at all, though, are you?
No, that was only 1993. I was ball boying. I was there.
And the referee still didn't change his decision.
No.
Rude. I think this might be the first time ever, Richard. This is just for you. I'm going Wakefield.
Well, thank you.
And I'm gonna. I don't know. We've seen Bradford upset some teams last season.
Played in Super League.
Yeah, I mean, not talking about that. But based on how Wakefield have been playing, and I think if we can get, if Wakefield get the ball to the edges, that's unstoppable. And I don't think Bradford have quite got the pace for that. So I'm gonna go Wakefield. I'm gonna give you 18.
18.
I think it might be a bit closer than that, but again, Chris Chester needs a result to take into Super League. I'm not sure Bradford's ambition this year is to have a Challenge Cup run. They're not on telly.
No. The media darlings last year, now they're nowhere.
Wakefield by 8.
I'll go for us by 20. Go on, Ricky.
Is that all?
Yeah. We'll see what happens. I've seen us in the cup before.
He's notoriously bad.
I've seen us in the cup before and what happens.
I think Wakefield could have a good cup run this year if they can get a settled team and not injuries.
I'd quite like to get a suit and go to
No, I don't think I haven't got that far. But you don't need to win too many games. Yeah.
On Sunday, now this is an interesting one.
So you're not doing Leeds and Catalans?
No, I'm going to go back to the Super League in a minute.
All right.
On Sunday, this is a potential cup set, as annoying people call it these days.
Oh, a cup
as
set.
All Kingston Rovers host unbeaten Leigh Centurions. And Hull have got no players, the Rovers. And Leigh have got loads of them.
It could be interesting. Ooh, curveballed. No, I'll stick to Hull. I'll stick to Hull by 2.
I have a feeling that in the same way that for Toronto the Challenge Cup is a distraction to the real business, for Hull KR survival is the only thing that matters. They have got a lot of injuries, they probably will rest players.
Yeah.
Leigh have got nothing to lose. Leigh get into the next round and playing another Super League team is the start of a money spinner. I think we've seen it a couple of times with Leigh that they've made quarter-finals.
Yeah.
They have an intention to be back in Super League. They need to take a Super League scalp, and they're more than capable of doing it. So I'll go Leigh by 4.
I was going to say Leigh by 4 as well. We can't do Newcastle because we don't know who they're going to play. Sheffield, who've not had a great start to the season, taking on Workington Town. I mean, these are just going to pick
I'm going to go Workington
Workington.
by 6. Just because I've just
Cool.
picked it out of there
Yeah,
and I've made it.
That's fair enough.
Sheffield are a decent cup team at the moment. They hold the 1895 Cup. Their win in London, their only win of the season so far, was in the Challenge Cup. So I'm going Sheffield by 12.
I'll go Sheffield by 4. Widnes versus Swinton.
Widnes.
The Cup Kings.
Yes.
Yeah. But I think it'd be quite close. I'll probably go Widnes by 4.
I think Widnes will win. I'd like Swinton to win for Martin Kellner. I don't think they will. I'll go Widnes by 10.
Widnes by 12. And York, could they get a morale boosting win as they talk on media darlings Rochdale Hornets?
I think they need it, don't they? Is that going to be another confidence game? Nothing to lose, throw it all in. Let's get a win. Let's build. I don't know, York. I'm going to go York. Rochdale, though. York. No, I'm going to go York by 8.
I think York need the win. I think James Ford's side have found it's more difficult this year because people have wised up to the fact that you can't take them lightly because of their successes. They seem to be edging slightly better each week. Good performance against London this week, but not enough to win it. And Rochdale are rebuilding after relegation, so I'm going to go York by 10.
And we've got, York by 8. Even though Rochdale's got better colours. Right, Super League, Thursday.
What was it like Wakefield?
Yeah, Thursday. Won as much as Wakefield recently as well. Thursday, Super League. Hull FC versus Warrington in the teams that are back derby.
I'm just going to go for a Hull just because it's home. I don't think either of them are very particularly confident. But, yeah. Hull by 4.
Hull have got injuries but Leigh out for a game.
I believe so.
Yeah, 1 game.
So I think that tilts the balance in favour of Warrington. Hull have recruited so much around their pack this year, and that several members of that pack are not now available at the moment. So I think Warrington will play exactly as they did against Castleford. They'll 5 drives and a kick, and Warrington will win by a golden point drop goal, and it won't be Mark Sneed.
No, Sneed. They've got to hope
the
they
fella from the other team.
Got to hope they win the toss in, haven't they? I've gone for Hull, and I've gone for the exact same number as Danica. I have gone for Hull by 4. Should be an exciting game on the telly on Thursday. Friday, this might not be an exciting game on the telly. It's Friday the 13th, and it probably will be for the Salford Red Devils as they host the devilish Wigan Warriors.
Well, the Jackson Hastings down.
Yeah. Pushing a lot of pressure on him for that, aren't they? The return. But I think Wigan's form at the minute, you can't deny how good they are and how they grow. They're genuinely one of the teams that are really growing and progressing, aren't they? So I'm going to go Wigan, and I think it's going to be quite a significant win. I think I'm going to go by 16.
I think Salford showed great improvement in France. He said, having watched the highlights only, because that's all that was available. And but travelling back from the Dragons will take a bit of a toll. But they have had an extra day to prepare because Wigan played on the Sunday. I just think Wigan are pretty miserly at the moment. I don't think Adrian Lamb will have been too impressed with. He might have been publicly, but I think he would have looked at. It's the first time this year they've conceded 3 tries and a bit sloppy in the first half. So I am going to go Wigan, but I think it'll be closer than that. I think Salford may not yet have turned a corner, but we'll have seen some positive signs. And there's a lot of ex-Wigan players in that Salford team
Yeah.
with a point to prove. So I'll go Wigan by 4.
I'm going to go Wigan as well. They could be 4 points clear at the top of Super League by the end of the weekend, depending on how results go elsewhere and if another game is played, which we'll talk about in a moment. So I'm going to go for Wigan by 12. I'm not sure if there's any point in us talking about Catalans versus Leeds, because I don't think it will be played. But if it was...
So do you think it not behind closed doors, just not at all?
Oh, that's a good point.
But then do you ask the players their opinion, or does it go based on something else?
Well, I again, as a player, you are the person to ask.
I'm not fussed by any of this stuff.
We
I'm gonna
are
get it, I'm gonna
saying...
get it.
Yeah, but we're
Right.
saying that we're not going to... There's a potential that the game might not go ahead because of the potential transfer of a virus. But you want to put the players in the environment where that virus is going to be transferred, because they're still going to go to airports, they're still going to walk through town and city centres, they're still going to meet local people who may or may not be infected. As a manager of that bunch of players, would you say, if you're not prepared to stage the game because you think there's a risk, we're not sending our players over
that's
there?
exactly it, isn't it? Like if there's a doubt, I guess it shouldn't be.
Yeah, so it shouldn't be behind closed doors. It just
It
shouldn't,
shouldn't
be
be
played.
happen, yeah. But I think my fear for Leeds is just we're on that run, aren't we now? We haven't had a chance to react to a week off yet, and I don't think Catalan away is the time to switch off.
Then there is a massive issue if the game doesn't go ahead for the Dragons. This will be the 3rd game. How do you fit in a midweek trip to Perpignan? It's getting to the point where some serious decisions are going to have to be made. But I don't think the game's going to go ahead, which is a shame because I'm scheduled to be there.
Oh, well, lucky. But if
Lucky,
it was to
says
go
laughing.
ahead, they're missing Sam Tompkins. We've got the whole Gail Maloney bounce off, which I think will be a great show, and it will see if Gailey can handle that pressure.
And a very big pack, which Leeds succumbed to when they played Hull in the first
Yes.
round of the season.
However, I think slightly more intelligent playing up the forwards now and how they're playing and how they're using the forwards. I'd like to see Leeds get the win, and I would say that regardless anyway, but I think it will be very tight, and I reckon it might come down to a drop goal.
Leeds by 2. But it won't go ahead.
I've gone Catalans by 2. And finally, Sunday afternoon, Castleford Tigers versus St Helens, 5:30 kickoff, because that's when the pitch shuts. Danica.
Well, Saints aren't on form. Cass are a bit wobbly, but they're a young squad. Probably wouldn't have not gone easy on them. At home. Are Saints about to get back on form now? You're saying yeah? If you're saying yeah, I'm going to go Saints then. By 4.
I just think there's a real resilience about this Saints team, and they will be annoyed that they let their standards slip last week, which again, as we said throughout the show, Huddersfield have pulled off the result of the season, and it didn't get enough credit. But I do think that the way St Helens handled defeat in the World Club Challenge, they'll do the same this week. I think whilst Castleford are steady, I'm not sure they can match the power of the St Helens forwards. So I'm going Saints by 6.
And I'm going to go for Castleford. I don't know why, but I'll put them to win by 4. So we'll see what happens on Sunday afternoon at 3:30 at the Jungle.